we've lost more people to fentanyl in the last 5 years than we lost to 70 years of war. And I wasn't aware, Gary, until Tommy told me that your family has been touched by this. So my heart goes out to you. I couldn't imagine what you went through, but it's something that's really a scourge on our country now. And just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, that's my daughter Kyla and myself when I was a much younger man, a sergeant in the 4-3 precinct. That's what I used to look like when you met me.
That's right.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anybody who can say that they don't know somebody who is going through this right now. And you threw out the number about more people the last 70 years of war than when we were losing to fentanyl. The one that I use all the time is, it's the same story you hear all the time. She was a 3-sport athlete in high school. She got into a car accident in June of her junior year, and her ankle got crushed. And when I say crushed, I mean pulverized. And she went through probably 7 or 8 surgeries, and they loaded her up with OxyContin. And we ended up with 18 years of addiction until such time as it finally happened. And in 2022, May 29th, 2022, I got the phone call. And I asked a friend of ours, Timmy McCormick, who just retired. He was the Bronx chief of detectives, and he got a couple of detectives to go over to her apartment and found her DOA. In 2022, 110,000 deaths in this country from opioid overdoses. And being a history buff, I know that in our 10-year active war in Vietnam, we lost 58,000 Americans in combat. So we lost almost twice as many to opioids, primarily fentanyl in this country. And, my single thought on this is, I don't know if Kyla would be alive if the border was closed, but I know that it wasn't, and she's not. So, these policies have consequences, and they're real. People are dying, not just from fentanyl, from crime, from lack of prosecution. Just had a case here where a guy, I believe, and I have to go look into it because somebody asked me to speak on it, in Antioch, Illinois, where because of something called the Safety Act, which was put in place by the state legislature, restricting the ability of police to do their job, restricting the ability of judges to sentence people to prison time awaiting trial, and eliminating cash bail. And it's funny, when I got out here, there were basically no gun laws as far as people going to jail, which was completely the opposite of what I experienced in New York. Right? We ended up with a 1-year mandatory minimum, and then I think it got raised to 3 years, and I don't know where it is today. But when I tried to get legislators in Illinois to look at mandatory minimums for gun possession, the argument was, well, why are we going to restrict the judge's ability to make a decision as to whether or not this person needs to go to jail and make them put them in jail? So instead, what they did was they made it so that they can't put them in jail. So now they've restricted their ability to make that decision, but they argued the opposite same argument on this side when they wanted to use it then. And there was murder where the guy actually killed a woman, put her in a container, and kept her on his property for a while, and it was catch and release. And then he went out and committed another heinous crime, which I have to look into right now. But those are the things that these policies have consequences. Yeah. And I just don't understand what people are thinking about.
Yeah, it does make sense. It really does not make sense. They worry about the wrong people, Gary. They worry about protecting the criminal.
If you fire a gun into a crowd, right? You're recklessly probably going to kill somebody. That's your mens rea. We know that as cops, right? In 2025, if you sell fentanyl, there is a 100% chance that you're going to kill somebody.
Yep.
100% chance that you're going to kill somebody. And Tommy, it would blow up your caseload, but those overdoses shouldn't be handled
As murders.
as good overdoses that we've been since heroin junkies came around. Those are murders because they're recklessly causing people to die or intentionally causing people to die if you're paranoid and think that there's a plot out there to get us.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I mean,
what is
Derek
the
calls
answer,
them
Gary?
poison
How do
oaks.
how do we take the bigger chunk out of this that we possibly could?
Well, I think the first thing that we needed to do has already happened, which is closing the border, right? Because the amount of fentanyl that was coming through the border was enough to kill everybody in this country like 1,000 times over, if I understand it correctly. So I think that's the first thing. But the second thing is there has to be specific laws upgrading those, and it's not just fentanyl. There's other drugs out there that are just as dangerous. I just don't know what they are. I've never been involved in narcotics enforcement. It's just something I never did. But that has to be upgraded to make it just not worth it if you're going to sell narcotics, right? Sell weed, right? Or go to a dispensary and buy it. But selling fentanyl is just, it's poison. It's poison. You might as well sell rat poison to people and kill them.
Yeah.
And people have to be
Well,
accountable.
we're winding down here, Gary. Thanks for sharing that. I know that was a difficult conversation for you, but it really resonates with the audience, I'm sure, to realize that we're all been touched by this, some closer than others, obviously. But I think you said it earlier today when we were briefing. There's very few people, if any, that haven't had some level of touch of this crisis right now, for sure. So, but like in your case, way too close to home. So thanks for sharing and being willing to share that photo and tell Kyla's story. I'll go around the horn. Pete, I'll give you some final thoughts. We'll go to Gary and then we'll wrap it up. And I have some house cleaning to do. But any final thoughts before I do the
Well, first of all, Peter, you got to get me in touch with the DEA. I'll get them on wearing a badge.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to close with this because, I feel like I still have a lot to share with law enforcement. And I have, this came up out of nowhere. I didn't solicit this. I got a phone call back in April and they said, hey, we think you're the right guy to do this particular type of show, which is similar to what you guys want to do, is a couple of cops having a beer and exchanging war stories. And I'm the guardrails, which is a little scary, right, Tommy? Because you know me pretty well. But I get to say things that people are afraid to do. People are afraid to talk about race, but here's Corey Brooks and myself sitting down and talking about it. People can't wrap their heads around what it's like to be the mother of a police officer killed in the line of duty, and to hear Carlos Yanez, her partner, who got shot 4 times. He lost an eye. He got shot in the face. He has trouble walking because of his brain damage from the bullet wounds. And on the show, he said, and I quote, "I'm glad this happened to me, not the officers who responded." And I sat forward, I looked at him, I said, "Carlos, do you realize what you just said?" And he said, "Yeah, I do realize what I said." And those are the people who give me hope, because I know they're out there. I know the nobility of police work, and that's pretty much what I close every show with. There's very few things that are more noble to do with one's life than be a police officer. Very few things. and I'm the eternal optimist, but we got to start getting these words out there because they're important. People have to hear this conversation about race with Corey Brooks. People have to know what's happening with fentanyl. It's just not resonating for some reason, even though everybody we know knows somebody. So that's my take. And thanks for having me. I talk about this stuff.
Yeah, so Gary, I send everybody to the fox32chicago.com/tag/wearing the badge with hyphens, or you can just web search Garry McCarthy wearing the badge and you'll come right up. It's
YouTube.
on YouTube streaming or it's on the Fox 32 website.
Yeah.
So get on that. What are days and times, Gary, or is it random?
It's random. We film on Tuesday nights, but we've got 8 shows I think are up and running now. We've got 4 in the can, and I've got a couple more planned by the end of August. Next one is going to take on consent decrees. That's going to be fun.
That will be fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Gary, you and I met a lifetime ago, man. Like I said, we're talking 1987, 1988. It's good to see you still out there leading and doing good things. So, and as for your daughter, man, I pray God's holding her close right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, we need more Garry McCarthy's, that's for sure.
You've just watched a clip from our live episode. Click the description to watch the full episode. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this.